stock market has reached all-time high in 2024. Both Standard & Poor's 500 and Dow Jones Industrial Average has reached all-time high. S&P 500 basically constitutes of 500 largest stocks in the big board New York Stock Exchange. That basically is the overall representation of the market, and it is very popular, tracked by most of the investors. Similarly, Dow Jones Industrial Average DJIA is 30th industrial blue chip company that constitutes the index. At this time, Dow Jones Industrial Average, the index value is 38,290. S&P 500 index is 4,922, and technology heavy Nasdaq index is at 15,609 points. Of these two indices, Dow Jones Industrial Average and S&P 500, they have reached all-time high and reached few more times higher than where the all-time number was there. So it's going higher and higher at this time. So as the stock market has reached all-time high, what could happen going forward in 2024? A research published by investment firm Ned Davis, the analyst at Closet, has done some number crunching. It shows that when the stock market hits all-time high in next year, generally speaking, the market does very well. So I'm looking in this the graph published by Ned Davis, that generally speaking, if the market hits all-time high and then followed by multiple higher, say 7 times already reached, then within next 12 months, 1 year, the median gain of the market is around 15%. Or another way, if the market keeps on going high, say 35 times, the market could go up to 24%. Actually, that happened. The S&P index gained to 27% in 2021 and 19% in 2017 after it reached all-time high. So those gains I mentioned is actually the median. So median meaning 50% it could go high or 50% it could go low. So there's a good chance that market will go up, given basically the current economic environment. The inflation is coming down, and most likely Federal Reserve, they're going to start cutting rates, perhaps sometimes in March or starting in May. They're expected they're going to have 4 rate cuts. So if in this environment you want to be perhaps deep into the market and take the position so that you can gain this upcoming market, the gain that is statistically supposed to do well. It may be too late by the time the Fed cuts rates. Say by November they cut all these 100 basis points and you want to get into the market, it could be too late. By the way, I am not a financial analyst. I am just my own research. This is what my belief. So if you want to do any investment, please do contact your financial analyst before you commit to your money. And also it all depends how much risk you can take. Basically if you are a lot of time, sometimes you have to wait before the market basically you can gain reach the gain. Stock market goes up, stock market goes down, and there will be mean reversion. Once the market goes up a lot, suddenly it might go down and then it might go up even higher. So you have to have wait. So if your time horizon, say suppose you are retiring, you cannot take this much wait for a long period of time. Be very cautious investing in this kind of environment. Similarly, another basically analysis that was performed by similar analysis at Closet at Ned Davis what happens to the Dow Jones Industrial Average? How the performance after basically like Federal Reserve start cutting rates. So there could be two scenarios after they start cutting rates. There could be no recession, or there could be soft landing, and there could be a recession. So in this kind of environment, when the analyst, they collected all the numbers and did the number crunching, they counted as many times, how many times basically like the market gains when there is no recession after cutting the interest rates. In this graph, there are two graphs that I'm showing you. The one in the green is basically like from the middle part of the where the two lines cross. The one in below, the recessions, when the rate cuts, if the recession is there, the market could go up to 10% in last 4 months. It could go up to 15%. And if there is no recession, if you look at the red graph on the right side, the market, the Dow Jones Industrial, on an average, it gains 24% after cutting the rates if there is no recession or in a soft landing environment. I will put the links where this information is available, so that you could look into the graph for your own information, so that you can make your proper judgment. So the stock market, the statistics doesn't always follow, but it is generally statistics are the way to make decisions, because if it drives by probability. So if the market is going up, it seems like in 2024 the stock market is going to do well, because the market has reached all-time high, the economy is good, the GDP is growing at around 3.4%, unemployment is very low, the consumer confidence is pretty good, so unemployment situation is pretty good. So market seems like there's not going to be any recession. So market should have in 2024 have a decent rally and make good performance. And also another important thing is next year in 2025, generally speaking, after a big gain that happens after market reaches all-time high, there's a record high reached this year. The solid gain could spill over into 2025. The Ned Davis research found that the median gain in the following year after a record high is generally another 8%. So market could go even higher in 2025. So in both in 2024, 2025 should be good years, and also the elections are coming. So generally speaking, there is not too much of like policy changes immediately before the elections in November, upcoming elections. So government or the politicians, they'll keep saying that there is no recessions, etc. Recession not going to happen. And also the inflation is really like coming down. In the last PC inflation, it's around 2.9%. basically like the targets for the Fed is around 2%, and sooner than later the inflation, the rapid deceleration of the inflation numbers will make Federal Reserve more comfortable, start cutting rates in 2024. In all this background, market should do well, and please position yourself so that before it's not too late. So hopefully in this information will be helpful for you. Please, if you like this video, please subscribe and hit the like button. And also, if you have any comments, I'd really appreciate it, so that I can reply to your if you have any questions. Thank you very much.